Regular council meeting, October 11th, 2022, to order. Pledge allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Bays,
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Wilson. Yes. Keller.
Yes.
Simpson. Yes. Approval of the tentative agenda.
Make motion to approve.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, public comments.
Well, I am here to talk about the Yuletide in Union on, because of the committee of the Yuletide in Union Committee, the Library Board, and the UBA. And I just wanted to report the progress of how it's going for December 9th. So, but first I want to thank Mindy and Rebecca for having an awesome fundraiser. They raised over $1,200, and then there's some odd dollars floating in out there, probably. Huh?
We brought in another 100.
That's $100, so that really helps out with the money. And so the next thing is the trolley. Denny Dostal's trolley will be, everything's gonna be at the park instead of the library, and that, the Hardin County Bank has offered to sponsor the trolley, and it'll be close to the bank or the restaurant there. So Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus, which is David Smith and Kay Johnson, will be at the shelter.
It's not real?
Oh, I am so sorry, I didn't know you believed yet. It's okay, honey, they're gonna bring gifts, and there'll be a treat bag. If you're a good girl, you will get one.
No way.
And so, they will be at the shelter along with a hot chocolate and cookies from the 4-H kids in the shelter. The reindeer will be at the west end of the park. There will be one hooked to a sleigh for picture opportunities at the discretion of the people that come to see them. The other is just in the pen. The other end will be the tree, the big tree there by Dave's building. That is going to be lit. Cindy Knight is going to be in charge of the music out in front of the tree. Not Sarah. Samantha Nelson will read The Night Before Christmas before the lighting. We are going to have a contest for,
The
Scrooge, yes, I said Grinch, I wrote Grinch, but I knew that wasn't right. The Scrooge contest, where there's 4 gentlemen in town, and at the bank, and possibly the Ginger Snap, maybe.
Okay.
There's gonna be jars with their faces, and the money that goes in those jars is gonna determine the winner. And they will receive a bag of lemons and a bag of coal, and they'll wear a top hat, and then they will light the tree. So, the firemen, I should have told this first, is also gonna have a supper, a soup supper, but it's still undetermined where.
I talked with Diana, and she was going to check with the board over here at the church
Uh-huh.
to see if we could do it over there.
An idea, so I haven't heard.
You don't know Diana?
Not tonight.
Hadn't heard the results of that.
So that's still time to determine where that'll be. So let's see, where are we? Norby's has offered to donate, but we don't know what, but that we'll find out in next month. And the lights are being taken care of. And the garland also for the shelter and for the light poles up along the street. So, I think that's it, right, ladies?
Sounds
Did I
great.
cover
Seeing
everything?
you.
Okay. And the next meeting is October 24th.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come,
Yep.
be in on the process.
Be sure to be there the night, though.
Any other public comments? Okay, I'll open the public hearing on the sale of the pool. Somebody wants to speak, I can tell.
Just, I guess I haven't been in on the whole decision-making process here and everything, and just, as somebody that, you know, I know that things run out of life and all of that, but if we have explored all the possibilities of fixing it, you know, and how much it would cost to fix it, and, or their alternative uses. I've heard some rumblings around town about a splash pad or something like that, which wouldn't take as much lifeguard people and all of that, you know, just with looking at other towns that have splash pads, they just open it and close it at a certain time and doesn't require lifeguards and everything, and so that's a concern.
I'm wondering if, okay, the lost funds are designated for the pool. So has that money been, is it sitting somewhere in a fund, having
It's-
not been used? And so it's ready to
Possibly used.
yeah,
maybe.
be possibly used for the, and prioritized as far as, I mean, maybe not in, you know, a right now thing, but over a period of time, we can get things back to where it could be used, or, I guess that's my one.
It's more or less pretty well done. The lines are shot.
They wouldn't pass the test.
But is there, has,
And
I don't know if anybody has
I never did
pursued
have
the-
anyone come in to give estimates on what it would cost to fix it, but according to the pool tax, it would cost way too much.
Well,
Second
That-
thing,
That's only one thing that's wrong.
yeah, that's the main, but it is the main thing. Second, their problem is someone to maintain it. There is no one to maintain the swimming pool.
Well, then it would have to be
That's the
hired,
biggest problem.
I guess.
That's the biggest problem with it, and has been with it. No one has maintained it. That's why it's in the shape that it's in.
I realize that.
And COVID helped that out a lot by
Oh,
Two. 2 years of sitting unused, you know.
I mean, you can have someone for 3 years maintain it, take care of it, but then what happens when that person's gone?
Well, I guess it's kind of, like I said, the funds were designated for the pool. It's kind of the city's responsibility to hire someone to take care of it and to maintain it and to make sure that the lines have been cleared so they don't freeze and all of the things that it takes.
Fully agree.
As far as putting money back into it, it would more or less just be kind of kicking the can on down the road, wouldn't it?
Yep, I believe so.
And there's been so many things that the city has had to let go. There's a town here that has 300 and some people, and the whole town needs to be taken care of, and things have been let go. We're right now working on trying to at least get decent equipment so we can at least move snow. You know, things like that. We need to work with the city shed down there. We have line that needs to go to the lagoon. We have a lot of things that need to be done that we haven't been able to do.
Well, we're talking about the pool.
Yeah, I totally understand that, Cindy. I just wondering if we're getting the cart before the horse, if we don't actually have any dollar estimates in hand to see, you know, if it's, like Bob says, if it's way too much and we're just kicking the can or whatever, fine, but I just want to make sure that our i's are dotted and our t's are crossed and we're making a good decision. You know, if it's that's all.
And the other problem is not just fixing that pool, it's finding lifeguards. It's finding good lifeguards. And we're not the only town.
Oh, yeah, I
All these
totally
other
understand
surrounding
that,
towns
yeah.
are
That
having
was always
trouble.
a problem.
But
There's always a problem, yes.
Because in the spring of the year, we heard from a neighboring town that, oh, Union's gonna pay more, so we're gonna lose our lifeguards, you
Yeah.
know, type of thing. And I understand that totally too. I
Yeah.
just wanna make sure
So, I
that
mean,
we're.
it's not just the repairing that,
No, I know that. I've been
that this
there.
decision is
Yeah,
being
we-
made upon. It's.
We've all been on the.
I know,
that end of-
and yes, you guys have done
And
this,
now
and
it's
you've
someone
dealt with
else's
it.
turn to take care of our pool, is the way I look at it.
Oh,
Well, maybe somebody in the past didn't take care of it, and that's why it's in the shape it's in too. I mean, it hasn't been taken care of for more than just the last few years.
I know
It's
that.
been steadily going down,
I
so.
know that.
And the splash pad thing, it's all a good idea, but the issue with that is you have to totally decommission the pool. It has to be all reclaimed and start fresh. You can't just put a splash pad down in the hole.
No,
You know what I mean?
totally-
It has to be all reclaimed and then you start all over. And it's not cheap to decommission a public pool.
Yeah, and
You can't just fill it with dirt and call it good. So
the city.
there's issues there.
I get it, I get that, you know, and I'm not trying to push anybody's
And I'm
buttons or
not,
anything.
and
I
I'm
just
not
wanna-
saying it's a reasonable idea.
I'm just looking
But
for
it's
something
still
for
not
the
a cheap
kids to
thing
do.
either.
And I
you know,
agree with you.
Because you know, I hear that there's so many issues going on at the park, you know, and everything. And is it because we don't have anything for the kids to do? You know, what,
There's issues
that-
that
that's-
go on.
Oh,
at the
that's a
pool.
big part of it.
and that's where I'm coming from. I'm trying to come up with some kind of fiscally responsible solutions, you know, to
And I
To
totally
make
agree
that
with
happen.
you. We as a town need to provide for our kids something to do. I agree with you, but
I agree, but also.
financially, we have to look in.
I agree with the parents.
that's what I said, being fiscally responsible for decisions. That's-
Mhm.
I don't wanna sound like sour grapes on the pool, but I hate to see us put a lot of money up there and our taxes, we all had a big tax increase this year. And I'm not in favor of the town having to raise tax more. But I'm not, certainly not against having something for kids to do either, but I just hate, a swimming pool is a money pit.
It has been, yeah, for
It has
15
been.
years.
I took care of it for 17 years,
Yeah.
so I know what it is out there.
Yeah.
And it was a great thing when we had it. The average life of a swimming pool is about 30 years, and this is 54 years old. So it's really served its purpose.
Another point that you need to think about is when we sit to do the budget, we are scrimping to get money anywhere. And we can't keep trying to cut the fire department and the library, or they're gonna be gone, in order to try and come up with money to make this town run, the swimming pool run. And I sure don't wanna I don't wanna lose our fire department, and I sure don't wanna lose the library.
When we lose our fire department, that's gonna show up on our insurance.
Exactly. It's gonna cost a lot.
Well, you have to provide fire coverage. I mean, it's a code, Iowa code. You have to provide fire coverage. And the city pool, when I was here, it was funding itself through the lost funds and the $7,500 grant that Doc Bates gave. And the other was, we had a full-time maintenance man. You know, there were funds. It just was, and the taxes have gone up since then. And we don't have a maintenance man now. I mean, it seems odd.
But everybody's wages went up too,
Yeah.
you know, to hire a lifeguard now, it's going to cost you.
And it's not only the lines up there. The pit in the chemical house collapsed.
Yep.
Was it a year ago, year and a half
So
ago?
the heater's not working.
The heater's out.
I get that, I
It's-
just want to make sure that, you know, we've explored the cost, you know, to make sure that it's not cost effective to do it, you know, rather than just say, oh, it's gonna cost too much, you know, do we know at all what it might cost?
You would be easier starting from scratch.
That's what I've had a lot of people asking for this plan. I told them that.
And for you guys' sake too, if you've got proof that it's gonna cost too much, then so be it, you know, but, just saying it's gonna cost too much, you know, is with no.
I know what you're saying.
Mhm.
Well, is that something that we can contact that inspector?
If you want a quote, he can give you a quote, what it's gonna cost to tear up all the, jackhammer out all those lines and replace all those lines, and that's just for the lines.
Used to have his number.
Yes, I do.
Well,
Maybe you ought to ask him.
I mean,
That
when he
would-
gave me the quote, sorry, excuse me, when he gave me the quote to come and test the lines, he was 2 hours one day, and they would do 2 hours the next day. They were here 15 minutes and could not get anything to start passing away.
Well, we knew
And
that happened when it didn't get put to
that
bed
means
properly the year
that
before,
whole,
so.
all those lines, underneath all that concrete is done. So, someone has to come in and jackhammer out all those lines.
that'll be a special.
And it's not just one line, there's 3 lines.
That we're selling
And they'll probably basically have to do a whole new pool.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And like I said, that, we may have the money to do that repair,
Yeah, we can
but it's the future. Is that, spending all that money to fix that right now, is the future gonna provide money? And it's not. And people don't want a lifeguard. People don't wanna work. So, I wanted to keep the pool, guys. I fought to try to keep that pool.
And I know that, I just wanna make sure we're making a good
And it
decision.
was hard
you know,
for me
that we're
to
making
tell
the right
her.
decision and that we've got the facts to back up the right
I
decision.
want to try to think of something else for these kids. I don't think a splash pad up at the golf course area is a good place. I think and we need to find a different area
I agree with that.
for something for those kids. So that is my goal, is to try to find something else, and maybe it is the splash pad, but somewhere else. Somewhere central located for those kids.
And I think that's probably the plan for the future.
Yeah.
But I think you as a council need to have the figures and show everyone.
Oh, I understand. I agree.
Where we're at now, what your plan for the future would be for our kids. I mean, that I think is what,
And I agree, and we dropped the ball, I think, not
I
having
did.
those figures here tonight. And I apologize for that,
I didn't.
but
It takes time and effort too.
it does, but you're exactly right. We need to look at the figures, that way we can present the
Just
figures.
have a
and say,
plan,
this
that's
is
what
what
I
it is.
said.
I know Hubbard's spending $4 million to build a new pool.
and I'm not
You
saying
know,
we want.
would it be half of that to
Has ever
refurnish ours? That'd still be out of the,
Out of our
Out
price
of our
range, you know, then
reach.
we'll know that.
you know, but if we knew that, then yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a plan for something for our kids, for our
Yes.
town,
Yes.
And even
And-
the
And
figures
that-
for how much it costs to, you know, you're talking about the future and the lifeguards and all that, you could pull out figures from a couple, 3 years when it was open, you know, how much it did cost and how much the lost funds bought in and then that kind of stuff to see what it was costing the town actually, you know.
And
then I
attendance is
think we're
dropping
good.
off, you know, and.
But I think the last year it was open, the attendance was pretty good
Yeah.
from the
Um,
numbers the kids were keeping.
And I know that this would all help you too, because in order to change the funding from the lost funds, you're going to have to put that up to a vote.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
And so you're gonna need all of this.
yes.
And to make a better city and a better town for our kids and that's the attitude I think you need to go into it with. And have some positive,
What
not
is-
just
what is
that
the
the
lost
city is
fund
going
money
down,
being
you know.
used for now?
It's just sitting in a pool fund. And then at that point, my understanding is it would go into the general fund, I'm
Back
guessing.
into the
Would
lost.
that have to be part
back
of the
into
vote
lost
then
asset.
to move
Oh, it would
that?
go
It
into
has
the
to
lost
have a
funds.
vote. It can't.
The entire amount would go into the lost, right now it's 50/50, into the pool and then into lost. So we could unload that swimming pool, boom, get it done, get it reclaimed. Then it might be an option to look at something else, you know, that the community could do. And community input would be very important in that. I mean, I wouldn't want 5 people to sit here and say, this is what we're gonna do for the city. This is what we're gonna do for our kids, and I don't have a dog in that fight, you know. But I have grandkids and stuff, and I grew up here just like everybody else. But in the meantime, we could really use, the community could use, infrastructure is really bad, and that money could be used in the short term for infrastructure. But that, again, that's just,
Oh, the
Has to be
street-
voted on.
yes, yes, exactly, we know that.
The streets are going hot in town.
Yeah.
The asphalt's cracking up bad.
But I don't know that there's,
We've got good streets compared to.
it's
other
smart
towns,
to
so.
dump more money in that one.
And I don't know that it is either,
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure.
We don't
that
know.
we're-
Yeah.
Explain the lost.
Local option sales tax.
It's the 2% that you pay above your sales tax. Sales tax
Well, I don't know why
is
we have to have-
5%, and then there's 2% loss.
It's 6-1.
So it makes it sound-
It's 6-1.
Yeah,
6-1.
I know.
Over there.
Yeah.
It's the nicest thing, and it's nothing on it.
At one time, it might have been that.
I think the money.
How soon do you think we can get some numbers from them people?
I'll contact them tomorrow. And as soon as they, as fast as they move to get me the invoice, maybe a year from now. In a couple days.
That would be good. And then if we have to call a special meeting or something, we can do that. And listen, here it is, you know, here's the numbers.
But he's only got for the lines.
Well, no, he can give us for, he said for the tearing it out.
The pit, the heater.
No, that, we're not gonna talk, I mean, we
You might as
can
well
get
have it all
quotes for
though.
those,
You're gonna
but.
do- Yeah,
It might be
But
out of
we
line
had,
even
we
getting
got
a
it,
quote for the lines.
we received a grant for those.
We knew what to be.
No,
We've got it during, you know, we have to look at, we got a grant for the heater and that, so that doesn't need to get in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're still gonna have to know how much it's gonna.
Yeah, but.
How much is that grant?
What was this?
no, no.
12,000.
Yeah, something like that.
you might wanna get a quote and just make sure it's gonna cover everything though.
Yeah.
That's, I would just make sure that the
'Cause-
grant
Yeah,
is
because
gonna.
that quote was made a year ago when the grant was applied for.
Yeah.
And with the shortage of
Is
supplies now.
exactly
And
right.
the costs going up.
Yeah.
So if it was for the pool, then you have to pay that back, is that correct?
Yep. I'll get some quotes for everything. That'll take a few days, won't it, days?
And you may wanna check on, I don't know where you got your grant from, but a lot of, sometimes those grants have a, like a lifespan.
You're
Yeah,
looking
you
at
have to-
Oh, well, ours was, I thought it was only 7.
I was gonna say,
It was
yeah,
only 7,000.
yeah, it wasn't that big of a grant.
7 or 9, something like that, maybe 9.
I'd have to
Maybe
look at the
9.
specs now, but it was pretty computer.
And then the
and
park,
few
and
things
then
like
a park
that.
grant.
And did it have a
Is
date?
there,
So-
do you guys know,
Do
is
they have a
there
date?
a
So-
deadline on that grant? Does it have to be used by,
It has to be used by December 31st,
of this year?
yes. And
So-
then if you don't use it, you just ask for an extension, and then you can use it the next year. But we have had people that haven't used like all their money in a grant, and they've returned the money to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
That's how I think it must be fair.
So, but yeah, well, yeah, 7 to 9, or whatever it is, 9,000, it's not hardly gonna touch anything in the pool.
Not, I mean, it was just for those items.
Right.
There was just a few items.
Yeah.
Right,
Fence,
right.
heater,
Fence, heater, I know those.
fence, heater, and then something else listed.
Shelter?
Huh?
Even just
Shelter?
a
Filter?
No,
I don't remember. Should have come with all that.
I almost wanna say pump,
Yeah, no, we do
but
this.
that's not, that can't be.
Um,
The fence and the heater were the two, slide,
Yeah.
the slide.
Okay. Well, and it's even hard to find somebody to come and take a look at those things.
Yep.
To see what you need.
Yeah, it's Mindy.
Yep,
Didn't it take you like 2 or 3 months?
yep.
Well,
do
yeah,
Might have time.
but that's just the way the workforce is now.
But they've already looked at
Exactly.
it. They've already looked at it. Now he can just sit down and put it
He should
together.
be.
He already knows, he's taken his pictures, he's done his thing. and
Just tell,
Hopefully he can just
tell
put
me
the
you need it by
numbers
next
together.
meeting and put pressure on
I think I told him.
him. You've told him that before.
Yeah, awesome.
I got emails to prove it.
Well, I'll bet you do, yes. I can imagine. Any other comments?
Thanks for listening. Just wanna
And so,
move positively forward if we can.
once you get some ideas or need help or whatever, then can we have another public meeting when we get to that point, or updates or thoughts or something? It's up to you.
Yeah, how is the town gonna be informed, is, I think what she's asking.
How are we
We've been
moving
discussing it
forward?
at council meetings and nobody shows up.
I'm gonna
Some
put my
people-
2 cents in here again.
Okay,
There's been distribution lists, email distribution lists, and we've offered the library 2 distribution lists, that anything you guys got to go out to the people can, if you give it to Laura, she'll put it out to the distribution list she has. And I know there was some concern by the previous clerk that people's names would show up in emails addresses, but there's ways that you can make that not happen. I just think that's a really good way, agendas, minutes, all of that stuff, to let people know what's going on. Because they're posted in the post office and the Ginger Snap, I think, and the agendas anyway are at the library, but if people don't, frequent those places, I just think the more we can be open with the whole community, the better off we all are, so,
And are the minutes?
my 2 cents.
I mean, is the recording, is it on?
On
Her
Rebecca's
website.
Website, and then I will post this one on
And the name of the
Facebook.
website?
Smalltownchronicle.com.
So, and I didn't know that, so I'm sure there are other people who don't know.
Yeah.
So that would be good. I have watched it a few times. I might not be here, but I'm watching.
And I know we have people that would help Lacey get that going too, if you want the town to do it themselves, so rather than. Because don't you have somewhat of an email distribution list, don't you, with like the water bills for people that actually get an email for their water bills? So can expound on that. And I'm a technology idiot, but it is 2022.
Well, and the SBA is a wonderful source for people who are interested in the city, and if you need help coming up with ideas or something, I think they would be very helpful.
Any other comments?
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other comments, I'll close the public hearing. Approval of the August City Council and Library minutes and claims paid. Karen made a motion. What motion to approve? I'll second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Clerk report.
In your packet, if you have any questions, let me know.
Here it is.
The sheriff's report's in there. Rhonda didn't get a water report to me yet. She was on the road. But she's planning on being here next meeting.
Any questions on the clerk's report? I want to put out a thank you to the VCLUW high school kids. They came over and they helped do some painting and some sprucing up on the park. Thank you, Mindy and Lacey, both for helping with that too. Reminder, Halloween trick or treat is October 31st, 5 to 7. Please turn your porch light on if you wish to have ghosts and goblins. I think that's all I have this month. Moving on, request from Pam, McCarty County Economic Engineers to share a presentation.
Well, I hear your pain, because I know that's the way it is across the county. Has your population gone down? So, that's the trend with all the cities in Hardin County. So, this all started in April. Mark Bushcamp is the Economic Development Director in Iowa Falls, and he enlisted Jim Bowman with Alliant Energy to put on a presentation and really look at where, in particular, Iowa Falls is at. So they got done with that 2-day meeting, and they said, well, it's just not Iowa Falls that's having this problem, and it's all over the county. And so they wanted to enlist the county to be a part of this. That was phase 1, and now we're looking at phase 2. So, you know, with population going down, that means, you know, houses are being empty, we're having trouble meeting our budgets in our cities and streets and everything. So what our thrust is this company does everything by numbers. And so, you know, it's not, my numbers aren't really my thing. I'm more into fundraising and giving out money. Because I'm Tana working with, and I do work for the Hardin County Community Endowment Foundation, but I'm not representing them tonight. I'm representing this group because they wanted somebody that knew everybody in Hardin County, and supposedly I do. I don't. But I know a lot of people here. So, so we're getting this group in, and they're all brain on brain people. We Zoom every Thursday at 3 o'clock, and I'm just kind of over my head, and I go, do I really want to do this? And so I'm enlisting the people across the county. This is a meeting that, well, I think I should have enough for everybody. I'll get to these guys first, and then, oh, you guys have, oh, bless your heart, thank you. Because this may interest other people, and we would love to have you.
Thank you.
I would like to have 100 people there, and that's my shoot for, my settle for is 60 people. And so this Iowa Falls group said, well, we don't want to have it in Iowa Falls. We want to have it someplace else in the county. So I looked at the map when I was at the jail, and I wasn't there. I mean, I wasn't going. I mean, I was just visiting there. So I was yeah, right. And so I was in their room where they do all the, when you call 911. That's right. Yes, that's it. And so they had this big map, and I looked, and I went, okay, where's the center of Hardin County? Well, it's Bruce Ratzner's barn. So I thought, well, I'll ask. You know, he can only say no, and he said no. So, you know, so we thought the emergency management in Eldora is good because they have all the technology there. They have 2 big screens for computers, a whiteboard, and it's a very nice facility. So this is where these people from New Mexico and Texas are coming, and you know, the website is there. We have an RSVP, but this is very important to Hardin County, and we were talking about where we were born and raised, and it's like, I've never left this county, so I've been here all my life. So it's very important to me, and I've worked for the foundation for 9 years, and I know how important our grants are and what we do for the county. And so, you know, I think that's why I'm probably leading this. But, you know, my goal is to try to get at least 2 or 3 people from every town. You know, Iowa Falls and Eldora are kind of taking care of themselves, but I'm kind of beating the paths to to everywhere else, and I'd like to see people come. And I know it's 16 hours of your time, and you know, if you have employers that we need to talk to see if you can get off to come to this, we'd be glad to do that. I know, some self-employed people, yeah, we don't have to worry about that, but it, you know, I just feel that this is very important to our county, and this is not a one and done. This meeting is not, we're gonna have a meeting, we're gonna talk about, you know, our needs across the county, and then these guys leave and everybody leaves, and then nothing gets done. This is, you know, it's a 10-year plan, and they said, Tam, don't scare people at 10 years, because I might not be here in 10 years. So we're talking about 3-year increments. So there, out of this group of 100, there will be other groups. You know, you may be paired with, you know, somebody from another town that has the same problems, or, you know, or want to look at some of the avenues, the theaters that they're calling it. But, you know, then you will be meeting, and they will give us all the data that we need. We will have graphs and numbers, but I think that's the way we have to measure things. It's just like your swimming pool. We need to measure things, you know, and numbers is the only way that we can measure things. And so this is what they're doing. And they'll do all they even call it a lab. You know, when I think of a lab, I think of, you know, blood and things like that. But, you know, they're taking numbers for the lab. So if any of you can come, or, you know, if you know of anybody else that this might interest, you know, we'd really like to have you come and be a part of this. But, because I'm thinking, you know, 16 hours for me to sit still too is going to be really hard. But I'm going to be the comic relief, and I'm going to make sure that we have some good things, you know, going on, and good food, and because, you know, you think better on a full stomach. So, so if you have any questions for me, you guys have looked this over. Thank you very much for providing all that information. So, you know, if you can, that's my work number. Well, and that's my work email too. How about that? Because you know, I kind of had to ask the board if I could do this, and I'm an independent contractor, so they couldn't really tell me no. So you know, but I'm here, so I'm kind of I can use the mileage here because we talked about the swimming pool fund, you know, the grant, so I think I can get by with that, don't you think? So, yeah. Yes, right, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, you know, if you can come, that would really be great. And let me know if there's anybody else that I can talk to, twist their arm, you know, give them a bag of candy to come, I don't know. But I appreciate it, and, you know, and I feel your pain that you're going through, but this is what I'm hoping. It's a slow process. Nothing happens overnight. You know, so it's just a slow process. And I have this little sign on my desk that says, God give me patience, but hurry. So that's my story. But thank you very much for allowing me to come and speak and share this opportunity that it's a process that's going to be happening in our county. So we just want to make sure everybody knows about it too. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
They were probably your best idea.
What?
Yeah.
I know it, yes, she does, yes. That's why I had to get to the camera. All right.
Thanks for doing that, though.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
See you, Jan.
See ya, thank you.
Okay. Consider approval resolution 22-16 approving the sale of the city-owned real estate at 601 Chasen Street.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we table that till we get, that's the property of the pool. And I'll make a motion that we table that, even the discussion for that, until we see some numbers.
So we aren't going to have to republish that in the paper. I have a motion from Tom, second by Rita. I'll do roll call. Tom?
Yes.
Rita?
Yes.
Ashley? Yes. Wendy?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Consider for approval ordinance 172, amending provisions pertaining to the chapter 55, section 55.19, urban chickens.
All right, I gotta do it.
Please do.
So what is
Urban.
You should have been at last meeting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we had a concern with fowl running all over.
Running amok.
Running amok. And so we're trying to remedy the issue. I know when they allowed the chicken issue to even have chickens in town. It was no roosters, 6 chickens, there was to be a coop and they were supposed to be fenced. Well, part of that did not get put in the ordinance.
There we go.
So they have this little loophole they're jumping through. So we're fixing it.
Okay.
Chicken fry, yes.
Chicken ranch.
No more jumping through hoops for the chicken side.
So it's basically adding that, one other problem is people are showing up with them and they're running loose and nobody knows they have them. So we are going to require they come in and get a permit so that we know they have them and they're not bringing in 100 chickens.
Oh, shoot.
But it's just extending that ordinance to try and get everything covered, and that way, when the issues arise, we can say, we have it in a code.
That's what you need.
What does that mean? I thought these books would already have nothing to do with it.
We have a motion to.
No motion.
Second.
Motion by Mindy, second by Ashley, I'll do a roll call. Tom?
Yes.
Rita?
Yeah.
Ashley? Yes. Mindy? Yes. Carrie?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we waive second, third reading.
I have a motion to waive the second and third? Okay. Roll call, Tom?
Yep.
Rita?
Yeah.
Ashley?
Yep.
Mindy?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Motion carries. Consider for approval ordinance 173, adding a new section limiting recreational vehicle parking. Would you like me to read it? Well, we're having trouble with people residing in campers. And they're not supposed to, and our ordinance is kind of bland. So you have to put it down in black and white. And that's pretty much what it's covering. It states where they can be parked, states that they cannot be used for human occupancy. And this, if you have people that come to visit with a camper, that's different. That's okay, but you can't make it your home. We have cords running for electricity. They aren't hooked up to water and sewer. So that is what this ordinance covers.
They can only be parked in the side, front, or back for 30 days. Right?
No,
No.
they can be parked for more than 30 days if they're just parked. You can
If
store
they're in the
If it's for
setback
storage,
requirements.
They may be parked or stored for more than 30 days. So you can store your camper next to your house all winter, you know, and that's,
Just don't run a cord and live in it.
Oh, in Montana, it's cold, isn't it? It's nice.
Would you like to motion that, sir? Have a motion by Tom, second by Carrie. Roll call, Tom?
Yes.
Rita?
Yeah.
Ashley? Mindy? Yes. Carrie?
Yes.
Motion carries. waive the second, third reading of ordinance 173 and adopt, do I have to do a second? And adopt ordinance 173.
I motion.
Second. Roll call, Tom? Rita?
Yeah.
Ashley?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Motion carried. Discussion on putting the old snowplow blade up for sale. Do you want to get rid of it?
I would say there's no sense in keeping it. All the pieces are there, the snow plow, the hydraulic reservoir's got a leak in it. Somebody could fix that reservoir. It just can't be replaced because it's so old. And it's probably got a little bit of value. We did get a new snow plow. It's down at the shed. It's gonna serve us very well, I think, for several years. The truck, the snow truck, the dump truck, got a new floor put in it. And we got a new liner for it, and we're gonna get ready the next couple of days to get that in, and then it'll be ready to go.
Awesome.
So hopefully we'll be ready for snow this winter, and storage will be our next big thing, someplace to put everything. But, you know, it'd be nice to have something. We talked with the Union Betterment Committee one time about sharing a big shipping container
Yeah,
and maybe a 40-footer and split it with Union Betterment for storage. And that way our mowers and summer equipment can be stored out of the shed in the winter, and then the winter equipment can be stored, the sander and that kind of stuff can be put in there in the summer, and it frees up a lot of space. And I don't know, maybe you guys don't need anything anymore, but that's something we had talked about.
I can sure bring it up to the committee because this kind of got started too because Heart of Iowa was storing a lot of the decorations, you know, go on the light poles, on all of that, and they were ready to not do that anymore. So then everything would be,
Yeah,
the
they're
cities
down there.
would
That's
be
a
in.
conversation we should have at another time, is maybe
Right.
doing renewing the Christmas decorations from the ones we had, some from the 40s.
Well, they did, yeah, yeah,
But we have that conversation.
yeah, okay.
But anyway, that's all I got. So I don't see a reason to keep the old
I
stuff.
don't either. I motion so.
I
How
second
do you
it.
want to do that? You
I
want
don't-
to
I don't-
advertise, or can you just have, if anybody's interested, just,
You know, you can post it, I guess. I think if you just posted it around, it doesn't matter to me how we do it. If somebody, I suppose officially we need to post it, you know.
library, the SNAP,
I would.
post office,
so,
bank,
Someone will.
yeah.
or
What are you gonna do with that big blade down at the old shed down by the sewer pond?
I don't
It
know.
belongs on that truck too.
That, no. Well, the blade, the big blade belongs on the old snowplow. We bought
Yeah.
him from the
There's
county.
another one down at the old shed.
Yeah, we bought two. I think we bought two for $200 from the county.
How come they don't keep that old shed up?
Well,
There's another thing.
Yeah.
Max and I and Larry, we built that damn
yeah,
thing.
and I
Now it's
talked to a
falling
guy
apart.
today about the sand shed needs some repair,
Yeah.
and that needs some repair. And I talked to a contractor months ago, several months ago, and he said, man, I talked to him today, he said, it got away from me. I cannot do it this year. He says, this winter, maybe, spring, maybe, but he will get up here and give us a price, fix the lean-to, and do something with the sand shed. The sand shed probably really truly needs to come down. Put something up that will incorporate some storage in the sand. I don't know, but that's a conversation again for another day. I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'm just gonna let them have an offer, or how do you wanna do that? OBO,
Put $1,000 the best offer. I mean, a brand new one's $8,000, $9,000.
Some cities have this one, just do it in the county.
For the big old dump truck, it doesn't work. We bought one for the red truck.
And that they would use this blade on,
we're talking about the pickup, Rita.
yeah.
No, the blades that we bought from the county, they might work on that new truck, but probably
No.
not. we got it pretty good. I don't know. Terry may be able to look at it and tell, but I couldn't answer that. It did come with a pretty nice blade. If we need to keep one of them, the old blade sitting on the east side of the maintenance building, that thing can go.
Yeah.
Well, the east side of the shop down there. There's no reason to keep that. And, I don't know if it's got any value except for scrap.
The pickup blades down in that,
Yes.
down by the sewer pond.
Yes, it's in that.
And what's the purpose of keeping those cement blocks in there? Sewer,
I looked at those today too. One of them's full of water.
they're taking up room for nothing.
Yeah, I thought if I could get them out there, I'd set them up along the
But I ain't thought
fence.
about going down and brace that.
I
Construction
tried to brace it, it came out.
Yeah,
But yeah, it needs,
yeah, it needs some TLC.
it is a nice shed
Yeah,
for
well,
what we use it for, so.
but we didn't take care of it.
Well, the derecho did a lot of damage.
Yeah, it didn't help it.
So I need a vote on that. All those in favor of selling
Yeah,
it?
keep it up.
Aye.
Sitting and ignoring stuff, don't be as bad.
Okay, now you can do it.
Now I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Like you-